Alrighty then, let's get the show on the road. And copy. And pop it out. Lying in the shadows of this dark hour. Do 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 do. Alrighty then, let's get this show on the road. Let's get this show on the road. Do 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 do. Yeah. And but. Alrighty then. One last thing, and then we should be good. I don't want an alert box, I want a chat box. And alrighty then. Okay, do. Alright, we'll just let everyone kind of filter in, and then we should get started. Alrighty. Alrighty. I'm actually a few minutes early. This never happens. This is great. Where is the thing? I swear, I need more space. Can I get more space? Yay or nay, get another monitor to store everything. I can see why. Oh my gosh, I can see why people have so many monitors. It's so hard to keep everything organized. Oh man. All right, come on, let's get it started and let's get it started and real. I haven't heard that song ages. Man, I feel old just singing it. Oh, am I too quiet? Hold on, let me turn up the volume a little bit. Also, welcome, Pensive. Welcome. Let's turn this up a little bit. It was pretty quiet for... I don't know why it's so quiet. Why are you so quiet? Is that bad? Can you hear me? Can you hear me now? Notice to everyone. Can you hear me now? What? I can't believe I was that quiet. Oh no! My pop filter, stop breaking on me. Yeah, it's kind of weird to do this because you don't notice your own audio. It's so... You can't ever know what's doing your own audio unless you have your own stream opened in the background, which I need another monitor to monitor the stream in the background. I need like 4 monitors. Welcome, Pensive. Welcome, Chris. And let's see. And let's get everything all settled. What was I looking for? What was I looking? Please read my mind and tell me what I was looking for, because I've completely forgotten. Was this it? A monitor for the stream of the monitor that's monitoring the stream. Exactly. One is good for most things, the others for talking out. I totally get that. I have actually the whole thing's been being run on a laptop right now, and I have 2 monitors. I could actually open my laptop to get a third one started if I really wanted to. It doesn't mean a new chapter. I'm slowly catching up to the story right now. This week we're doing gallivanting. Or no, what is it? Chapter 50. Chapter 50. Gallivanting. Because my chapter count is different from V's chapter count. And it's something that we still contend with to this day. Mostly Desk. It's mostly Desk contending for it. What with the clip? Yeah, I get that. Yep. But yeah, it's actually kind of funny because with the whole, I'll catch up in no time. I said 4 years ago when I started doing this. I'm hoping to catch up. That's my goal. This year is to catch up with V. I only have a few chapters to. I only have how many chapters do I have left to catch up to V? Hold on, I'm curious now. Let's see if I'm on chapter 50. I have 15 chapters. I have 15 chapters between me and V. Which 15 chapters in a year doesn't sound like much, but it's actually quite a bit. Okay, let's see it. Who am I missing? Okay, hold on. Welcome Ionic Games. Welcome Chris. Welcome Demo. Glad to have you here. Welcome Elite. Welcome. And all I can hear is your voice for idle. Nice. Hell yeah. I didn't intend for that to happen. It just kind of did. And I appreciate V for such a good story. Like, it's kind of funny. Because I don't know if I've actually shared this on stream. At the very least, not with everyone. Not with everyone that's currently here. Before I get into that tangent, here's a different tangent. 15 chapters might as well be 15 years worth of pony words. Yeah, that's very fair. That's very fair. So, before that tangent, here's a different tangent. Chat however much you like, distract me as often as your goal is to distract me and keep me from finishing the chapter. And it might seem counterintuitive, but I love seeing y'all chat. So, what is it that V says? Authors are comments are authors' food pellets. Well, chatting with me is a narrator's food pellets. Is my stream quiet? Hold on. Is my stream really quiet? Let's see. Welcome, All-Star. Let's see if this can do anything to it. I'm trying new mic settings, so... Oh, welcome, V. Welcome. About to do some airsoft with my friends. Okay. No. Well, we'll catch you later. Demo. Glad that you could drop by, though. The longest you've ever managed to distract me is about 3 hours. And that is not an exaggeration. Okay, Desk might not be here today. That means we can blame everything on Desk with no repercussions. Woo! Hold on, now I'm too loud. Hold on. Gotta bet you gotta. Oh no. Oh, you said. Oh no, sorry. Welcome, Demo. I don't know how I got names confused so bad. Welcome, Hunter Master. Welcome, Hunter. Gosh, demo, man. Sorry, dude. Sorry, dude. How did I mistake you for a Hunter Master Gaming? Those two names aren't even nowhere close to looking the same. How? All right. See you later, Hunter. Hope you. Oh gosh, this is getting off to a great start, right? This is getting off to a fantastic start. uh, I should keep him from more than a paragraph into the chapter. I didn't break. Oh no. Got some nice stroganoff. Man, stroganoff is great. I've only had it a few times, but it's pretty good. I usually don't do. I hardly ever have pasta. I should eat more pasta because it's great. Hey, putting off work for streams. that's yeah, that's what I do all the time too. Ah, oh no. Oh man. So, what tangent was I going to go on before I went on a tangent? Before I was interrupted by a tangent? Oh, wait, what happened? Wait, what? Hold on, things are going on in the chat and I'm not looking at it. None of that on the stream. That's what I got. I usually take an hour or so to get. Can we do better than that? Yeah, well, yeah, we've. I I will say I don't count New Year's stream, any of the New Year's stream as you distracting me, because it's V distracted. It's me and V just chilling on stream the entire time. So I don't count that as me distract. I don't ever plan on actually reading during those streams, except that first one. But even then, I had to re-record it all because I did it in Golem's voice for the entirety of Morning Woods, and that was not. I can't believe I did that. So, what was I doing? I, man, you're going to get so many brain farts. This stream is going to be unreal. Yeah, I don't do pasta. Most of the time, I do mashed potatoes. I don't know why. I love. Maybe it's because I'm next to Idaho, so everything is potato in Idaho. I know that my last laptop was a potato compared to this one, so everything is potato. Most most weeks, I'm either eating shepherd's pie or chicken pot pie. Both fantastic dishes, and really easy to make a big batch. They're the perfect like almost student meals because they don't cost that much. Because potatoes are dirt cheap, veggies are dirt. The most expensive thing in it is meat, and then it's good for you can eat that the entire week. You have enough portions for the entire week. It's perfect. uh, yeah, so many tangents, but uh, these chats are brain beans. The result is brain farts. Yes, that is actually accurate. You're my man. Wait, hold on. Hold the phone. Most streamers I watch have a name for their chat. Your your chat's name is somehow going to be Beans, even though that has nothing to do with the changeling of the guard. Man, you named yourself Beans. Perfect. But yeah, so first tangent for everyone that's new here is if you want to chat, feel free. If you want to show me any pictures or videos or something like that, put it in the live stream related chat in the Discord, linked below, for those of you who didn't come from the Discord. Uh, I'll react to any pictures that you post. Make sure they're good with V, and then yeah, if they're good enough for V, they're good enough for me. Put them in the live stream related chat, not stream announcements, and any videos that you post, I will watch after stream. Uh, That's just what's going to be going on. So that tangent out of the way. Uh, I love that Fluttershy. That's not a picture. That's a GIF. That's technically cheating, but I'll allow it. What was that first tangent I was going to go off on? Oh yeah, first tangent I was going to go off on is uh, reading Changing of the Guard was I never meant to be a narrator. That was just kind of a thing that I kind of fell into because I was working at uh, this one job I was working at. I had a lot of free time to myself. I didn't work with anyone. Off. I was an assistant, so I was just sent off on doing odd jobs all the time. It was for it was for exterminator company. That's right. Uh, so I had plenty of free time, so I would be listening to a lot of audiobooks and stuff like and podcasts and whatnot. And I'm like, I want to listen to some some pony books, but all the pony books that I wanted to listen to, they don't have good readings for them. They're like, and the best you could do is a robot reading for the majority of fics. So I'm like, you know what? You know, I have a microphone. I've streamed a couple of times. Let's record Changing of the Guard. That's my new obsession right now. My new book obsession. Because I don't know about the rest of you, but for me, once I pick up a book, it will consume my entire life until it's finished. And that's what Changeling of the Guard was doing when I first started recording. And 4 years later, I'm almost done with Changing of the Guard. Nearly. Not quite there yet, but almost. Idol's favorite song. Oh, let's see. I really had. Uh, Anyone can be a narrator. Chris, uh, don't question whether or not your voice is good for narrating, because there's narrators from all walks of life. You don't have to have a voice like a like Jim Dale who did the Harry Potter books. You don't have to be Mark Black. You don't have to be like you don't your voice doesn't matter. What matters is that your dedication as well as like being willing to learn the part. Because I learn all of these uh, like I didn't think going into this I'd be able to do any other voices other than my normal speaking voice, and I've had to train that through all these chapters. That's why Queen Chrysalis in the first or second chapter of the story is uh, is like one of the few times I've actually edited my voice, and that's because uh, and that's because I could not do a good Chrysalis. This was my Chrysalis voice, and it didn't sound good at all. So I covered it up. I'm like, I can't do female voices. I'm a dude. I can't. It's going to be impossible, especially for my deep range. And now I can just and now 4 years later, I've been able to do lots of stuff that I would have never even dreamed about, like when I first started out, like Topaz. I can't even believe I was able to do Topaz, and that's not even the best Topaz I could even do. This was just in the moment, and you just have to learn your characters and train your voice. That's all it takes. You don't have to have a Markiplier. You don't have to have a buttery smooth voice or typical narrator voice. What matters is just doing what you love. It's like YouTube. From every source I've heard, the people who are successful at something are those who are doing it for the love of it, not for the notoriety of it. I don't know why I got so deep so early on in stream, but let's see. It would probably make DMing so much better. Thing is that I've I've only done one uh, round of D&D, but those character voices, you can just do character voices from anything. And you learn things, you unlearn things. Like me doing Rainbow Dash, that does not sound anything like Rainbow Dash. And her voice changes significantly from one chapter to another. You just kind of roll with it. You just kind of do what you want to do. And then there's that guy who reads Fallout Questia. Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of narrators in the fandom. It's interesting because in the fandom, it is the opposite ratio of male to female voice actors as it is in the actual world of narration, I learned. In the grand world of narration, it is usually a higher male to female ratio, but in the pony fandom, it is completely flipped. Mostly because the main characters of most fics are females. They're the main six. You kind of want voices that sound similar to them, and that's why. And it's not the only reason, but it's also like one of the many reasons why there's so many great female narrators in here. I like you have Lost Narrator, you have Obab, you have so many, so many. I can only name a few off the top of my head because my my brain is stupid. It's too full of beans to be able to remember all the voice actors I've met. And actually, it was also Dusty Cat that gave me a similar speech when I went to see him at a con and he was doing a panel on voice acting. That made me confident enough to even try this out. Was Mouth in Search, which has a very... I'm not good at remembering consistency. Neither am I. Neither am I, to be honest. You know how many times I've... Chris, you know how many times I've had to pause stream to be like, okay, I've had to look up past chapters of me doing the voice so I can remember how to do the voice. The computer-generated narration, like the stuff from 15AI, I know about it. I've never played with it. Like it's great for a lot of things, and it's a really fun thing to show how great AI could eventually become. The issue I've always found with them is that it's the issue that I've always had with them is that it's a more stylized way of doing a robotic reading. It's more entertaining for sure. It's much better to get the whole it sounds like the character, and that's great. And that's one aspect of things that a lot of people look for in a reading is that does it sound like the character? But it's missing something. It's missing a key factor which makes listening to narration really fun to do. And that or makes listening to an audiobook very unique. And that is personality and inflection and all these little things that are just natural to us just from being puppeted meat sacks and whatnot and all that fun stuff, just from being alive with a mind. And AI's not quite to the point where it could mimic a human with a voice. Things have gotten close. I would almost say the closest that we've gotten to that is probably from Google or Siri, and even Alexa to an extent. But it's not quite there yet. I know there's a lot of people that have books read to them by their AI assistants, and that's great. But it's not something that I go to listen to in a narration. I go when I'm reading a narration, because I don't know if this is just a me thing, but generally my in-head readings of books are very flat. They're basic. They might as well be a robotic reading, and either they're one end of the spectrum or another. They're either not emotional enough or way too emotional given the context clues around it. And going to listening to a reading, you get that you get all those inflections and little hints, and you're like, oh, that makes much more sense for that line to be read that way. It's also why it's really nice for um, I forgot. I lost my train of thought. The idle probably banish the train from my thoughts, but uh, reading through this fic as close as you need to do narration makes it so makes the it almost so much better to read through it, because there's a lot of things that I missed. Sometimes my brain skips a line or two, or just not pays attention to a particular part, and just kind of like ties two things together and says, all right, that's good. And I don't notice little things here and there that now, in the context of the more recent chapters, I'm like, oh, oh no. There's so many little hints sprinkled out throughout all the chapters, or little moments that you get that you only get through rereading. And it's something that I love sharing with you through these readings and through these live streams. Uh, if if my Patreon reaches 1,000 per chapter, I bet he's willing to add radio play style sound effect. Oh my gosh! Immediate 100 YouTube strikes. Yeah, like there's so many hints everywhere. Um, man, I'm on the fence about opening a Patreon, just just because I'm like, I'm I'm not doing any work. It's all V's writing. I just sit and make funny voices for 3 or 4 hours. Oh, by the way, this is probably going to be a 3-hour stream tonight, just to kind of make up the last hour that I didn't do on the New Year's stream. Yeah, that didn't turn out. That was the first time in the 4 years doing this that I didn't finish the New Year's stream, and I'm sad about that. So, thanks for all coming back after that disaster. But I do like impressions, but uh, impressions are only like a part of it. Like, take I don't know this. Uh, you can read that. You have now shattered my thunderhead. But then you get little inflections like, and you have shattered my thunderhead. There's so many ways to read a line. There's so many different ways just based on how you say it. Like, uh, my friend the Looney Turtle, he's also big into narration and voice work. He puts out this sentence, and there's 100 different ways that you could say it. Can I have this? And depending on what part of the sentence you put emphasis on, changes the entire meaning of the entire sentence. The New Year's stream did end conclusively. Yeah, that was no, yeah, no, definitely going back to Mead next year. That was way too much. That was way too much. Also, apparently, I make way too boozy a rum and coke, because all my siblings have told me that's not how you make a rum and coke. It's not 50-50. It's like maybe a shot to a shot of rum to a whole thing of Coke. And I'm like, well, I was taught wrong. So anyway, like the sentence they puts like, uh, can I have this? It's I can have this. I can have this. I can have this. Like you can change it just from all the stuff, and that is lost in with a computer reading it because they don't understand that yet. They're not to that point yet where they can mimic the little tones and touches that a human voice adds. Next year, mead, yes, mead only. That is, I was way too lazy to get mead this last year. Not going to happen again. I'm going to get maybe 2 bottles next year. So yeah, and yeah, like, and you have shattered my thunderhead, for example, from the story. And you have shattered my thunderhead. And you have shattered my thunderhead? And you have shattered my thunderhead. There's all those sentences are completely correct. I haven't changed anything in the sentence itself. But what that tone inflects has changed the entire subcontext of it. Ah, if only I could get Viking blood. That is not available in my state. I think the best mead that I have in my state available is Chaucer's. Unless I want to make my own, which I might try. But I don't have the money for it yet, so maybe in maybe the next couple of years. Yeah, I only have Chaucer's mead, which it says is a local mead, even though it's made in California. So I don't know what they're talking about. I don't. There's. It's so hard to get good stuff here. It's taxed out the wazoo. A little bottle of Chaucer's cost me about like $20. It's terrible, but anyway. I forgot what I was talking about. But yeah, like will AI get to a point where voice work can be done by it? I don't doubt it. It could definitely. It's definitely possible. It's something that I don't think is impossible. So I'm not going to. Uh, I'm not going to just say offhand that it's impossible. You, no one can beat humanity. For we're the best at everything and whatnot. Because that happens in Warhammer, and look how great that turned out for them. They have the whole universe against them, but 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 nothing is unless it is physically impossible by the laws of the universe itself. I don't believe it is impossible. There's always a chance for something to happen. It might be decades or even centuries down the line, but it's a possibility that it might happen at one time or another. I'm worried about it being used in procedural news. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, I can see uh, your issues with that. Although I don't consume the news media, just because it's mostly depressing shit, and life's hard enough without adding that on top of it. It's, that's yes, that was probably a direct quote from Elon himself. Is that unless it's physically impossible by laws of nature, then it's impossible. That's completely possible. But yeah, must send the boys to bring you Viking blood. But yeah, do I think that starships impossible, for example, or interplanetary species? No, not at all. We've been dreaming about it for since we could dream about it. Like when technology was nowhere close to what it is today. It's just a matter of when, and if the right people at the right time are going to work on it. Like, you can consume media. Wonderful timing. I won't have to cook lunch. If only I didn't have to eat and I could just consume media. uh, will AI get good enough run run robo taxis? Eventually, anything's possible. It's just the way things are. It's nothing. It's not impossible, and I could definitely see it. Will it happen in my lifetime? That's a different question altogether, and it's something I've been going back and forth on. Yeah, no, maybe. The advancements in it are incredible. Will, but get to the point where people are safe enough to just let it do its thing, like in iRobot, for one example, might be a few decades, if not a century, down the line. But it's going to happen. It's going to happen one way or another. It's more than a lifetime of work. Exactly. Terraforming Mars, that's a generational thing. Like, uh, that's why I love The Expanse so much. It's such a good series. Um, that they actually portray of Mars. We've colonized Mars for centuries in the Expanse universe, and they're still working on terraforming it. They're still it's like those old cathedrals, the really old massive cathedrals where the person that starts it won't live to see its completion, and then it's just passed down from father to son, or from whoever else takes up building this grand masterpiece. Yes, like one thing, one line I don't like about uh, Jurassic Park, for example, the original Jurassic Park is um, is that you stand on the shoulders of men, uh, and I can't remember the whole quote, and uh, it's like, yeah, that's what science is. Is that it's not a bad thing to stand on shoulders of people who have created the technology, because that's a generational thing. That like you can only build you can only build it once at a time, and it takes people to bring all those building blocks together to create something. Jurassic Park, it didn't work out so well for them, but they got dinosaurs, so I don't know. But you have but it's a but it'll take lifetimes of work in order to get to where we've dreamed about in books. It might get accelerated more and more as time goes on, but it's going to happen. And few people have more disposable money than us. That's fair enough. If I can't own a designer pet flying dragon, flameless before I die, I mean, I don't. Hello, darkness. Yep. uh, oh, nice. And but yeah, like there's many projects going on that might not be completed in my lifetime, but several lifetimes hence. Like I've even heard of there's one project that goes towards that is all about the idea of people being able to modify their own bodies to be what they want, even if that's not human. There's this whole culture around it, which I never even heard about until someone introduced me to it, of transhumanism, which is the freedom to alter your body in whatever way you see fit, to be more comfortable in your own skin. And uh, and right now they're working on being able to not only modify genes so that way you can have like eye color, or like to be the perfect you that you want to be, but also they they're also studying stuff to be able to turn people into furries as well, into their real life personas. So, will that happen in our lifetimes? No, but the science, but I don't, unless science get, unless it gets hugely ramped up or something, which there's enough suspiciously wealthy furries around that I don't doubt that it might get put towards a good cause. But I can also, but the science is there. You can do this. We've edited genes before. Why not edit genes of how we look? Well, so it's just a matter of time before we have humans that don't want to be technically, that don't want to be human anymore. It's because I'm leaning away. I can bring it back. If it's too quiet, let me know and I'll lean back forwards. Cybernetics, that's doing great stuff. Um, Transhumanism, basically shedding your meat suit. Yeah. Will I believe I'd be able to download my mind into a computer and live forever? And will all be part of the Matrix? And will the Matrix be real as a escape uh, from death? Probably. Friendship is optimal. Have a whole friendship is optimal tradition there. It's not physically impossible, so it could happen. We're getting to the point where people are building cybernetic limbs at home. Yeah. Um, there's also a YouTuber that I watched that show that he cured his own lactose intolerance through gene therapy. People can 3D print missing fingers and whatnot with free designs. So it's not impossible. Will people like get will be able to become their personas in the next few decades? Maybe, maybe not. It's all depends on who's working on it and how much funding that they can get. You just want me to sing shanties again, demo. That, for those of you who don't know, one stream was just consistent of me being super into sea shanties, which are fantastic, and I still stand by them. I I sang a few shanties. Ah, it. I actually got into the so just to clarify. I got into the sea shanty craze before everyone else did. I was listening to it back early December, and I know it didn't come out until like January, but I was like, man, the Longest John's YouTube channel, if you haven't watched it, go check it out. They have some great stuff. Uh, they have some great compositions of sea shanties. And I got so hooked into it, and everyone's like, that's kind of weird that you're liking sea shanties. 2 months later, everyone's like, there once was a ship that put this. I'm like, I called it. I called it. There once was a ship of 2x4s, and the name of the ship was Idlebore. Oh man, oh I could totally see space shanties. Oh, man, the but yeah, like oh. Okay, I'll sing one song, any song in particular. It has to be a song that I know because I don't know a lot. Space. I don't think I know any space shanties. Although that video looks cool, I'll check it out after stream. We're whalers on the moon. French. I'll sing the entirety of Friendship is magic. Oh man, that's a lot. Uh, Also, a song that I really enjoy from Friendship is Magic that I feel like doesn't get enough love is Giggle at the Ghosties. Everyone's like, oh, it's not as good as later songs. And to an extent, that's right. But nothing gets me in a mood more quickly than Giggle at the Ghosties. Oh, you want me to do the theme song? Wait, hold on. The theme song's just like 3 words repeated for the most part. Oh, Gypsy Bard. Oh, Gypsy. Oh, okay. If I can remember, look, I have to look up the lyrics to Gypsy Bard uh, because I've only heard it a handful of times myself, even though it's my alarm to wake up in the morning. All right, let's see. Lyrics. Come on, give me. Do 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 do. Yeah, I've made it. I made an alarm. It's just available on, I think, Zedge is the app I download all of it for. I mean, there's more than 3 words for the main thing. But it does repeat itself a lot with the backup vocals. Let's see. Uh, I used to wonder what friendship could be until you all shared its magic with me. Big adventures, tons of fun, a beautiful heart, faithful and strong. Sharing kindness is an easy feat, and magic makes it all complete. Yeah, my little pony. 'Cause you know you're all my very best friends. There's actually an extended version, which is great. You should listen. If you can find the extended version, listen to it. It's fantastic. Let's see. Oh, I don't think I've ever heard of whiskey. Old humors of a whiskey. Uh, they're also available on. I think you can just find them on YouTube. I'm not entirely certain about that. I I don't know what that song is. Cringe goes vibe. See, I so this might be sacrilege, but I don't listen to a lot of new songs that often. Oh, Desk, you decided to join us. all the way from a, all the way from a convention, we got Desk, who is at fault for how long it's taken me to actually get to the contents of the chapter. Woo! Oh man, now I've put on the spot to sing a song, maybe shanty or maybe not. Hmm. Way, hey, roll and go. The anchor's on board and the cables are stored to be rollicking randy dandy. Oh, heave a pull or heave away. Way, hey, roll and go. The anchor's on board and the cables are stored to be rollicking randy dandy. Oh. The 6 of us have held him off for 38 minutes. Hold fast. 38 minutes. We still got an hour. We still got 2.5 hours to go. Mary Mac. I don't know if I've heard that one either. Oh man, maybe it was a bad choice to make you choose the song because I don't know most songs. uh, okay, what's some songs that I know I can just sing right off the bat? Uh, beast of the sea will tire out soon. And read more Shattered Skies. Yeah, sure. Yeah, well, yeah, maybe. Yeah, I'll get right on that. I'll get right on that. Put it on my watch later. That's 800 plus books at the very bottom. Oh, I don't do too many raps. The closest I've ever gotten to a rap song is You're Welcome. You might also like The Great Big Sea or The Bare Naked Ladies. So here's my here's a thing with me me and music. I don't like any one particular genre. I'm not a fan of any one particular genre. I just like songs. I don't even know what reggae is. I'll be real with you. I don't even know what reggae is. Like I said, I don't listen to music that much. Um, let's say, let's. I'm trying very hard not to just sing uh, Wellerman because that is now stuck in my head and it's refusing to leave. I might know reggae, but I don't know what reggae is just from the name reggae. Like you could say, "Oh, it's folk rock or something like that," and I'm like, "Give me an example. Send me a video of an example, because I have no idea what that is." I've never listened to Bob Marley. No, I haven't. Oh, what's that one song? Oh, that I just gotta. Okay, how about you just get drunk and sing "Leave Her Johnny"? I'll have to look up lyrics for "Leave Her Johnny," but I've never listened to Freebird, except for when I watch Cinema Wins coverage of uh, everything great about um, Kingsman. That's the only time I've ever heard Freebird. Yeah, I've never listened to. I don't listen to a lot of new music, so call me a heretic all you want, uh, but it's just the way my music tastes go. All I love pretty much every song in MLP because it's just so hummable. It's great. It's so good. And even though everyone's like, "Ah, man, Let It Go was so overplayed," and it was, I won't deny that Let It Go was overplayed, but it's such a killer song. It is such a good song, and you can't deny that it is a legit great song. It was actually, and you can't deny it because it was so good. It made Elsa not. It made the writers of the show not make Elsa a villain. and as and you just can't deny that. That is actual facts. We don't talk about Bruno, no, no, no. We don't talk about Bruno. But it was our wedding day. We were getting ready, and there wasn't a cloud in the sky. Also that is also a great song. I also like Under Pressure, but it's not as hummable as uh, We Don't Talk About Bruno. Okay, uh, well, I kind of promised a song, so now I have a feeling that I kind of have to. Hmm. Yes, we don't talk about boots with the fur. We don't talk about apple bottom jeans. Apple bottom jeans, boots with the fur. The whole club was looking at her. She hit the floor. Next thing you know, Shawnee got low, low. Shawnee dropped it down low, 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 low. Shawnee dropped it down low, low. That is actually his like most viewed video. It's so funny. What about old? I do listen to quite a few old tunes. I know my dad was super into the Moody Blues and the Carpenters, although I can't think of a single song by them. I don't think I've heard about it. Uh, Lots. Oh man, there's so much good stuff. There's so much good stuff in the like the realms of original music, but not mainstream music. It's so good. It's so good. I'm still trying to think of a song because I kind of promised you a song. Wait, what? What? Hold on. I'm trying to decipher what the that word is. I I don't I don't even know. I if it's song lyrics, then all right. You gotta link me to the song because that is interesting lyrics. Oh, I haven't listened to Dark Desire yet. I have been meaning to, though. Now I will after the stream. uh, Man, now I'm putting myself on the spot. Ah, ich. I have. I think the lyrics you're copy pasting are missing end of lines. Ah, what? What is? Oh, but anyway, like apple bottom. We don't talk about apple bottom jeans. I'm actually like that guy's patron, and like when I saw that video, I'm like, yes, I have to share this with everyone. It was like one of like his second YouTube poop. Actually, it I guess it doesn't count as YouTube poop, but that's like the second song that he's put on his main channel that was just complete meme and is great. um, Man, I can't think of anything. I can't think of any songs off the top of my head. Oh, wait, hold on. Hold on. Hold the phone. Hold the phone. Uh, what's it called? Ah, there's a song I want to sing so bad right now. I just can't remember the first word to it. Uh, j- yes. Thank you, Google. Thank you for knowing exactly the song that I'm wanting to. Yes, this is such a good one. Actually, if you want me to sing like, I don't know Big Iron, but I know, but just from the name of Big Iron, it reminds me of a different song. So now I'm not going to sing the song that I was looking up. Uh, Some people say a man who's made out of mud, a poor man's made out of muscle and blood. Muscle and blood and skin and bones, a mind that's weak and a back that's strong. You load 16 tons, what do you get? Another day older and deeper in debt. St. Peter, don't you call me 'cause I can't go. I owe my soul to the company store. Do, 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 doom, 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 ba-dum, doom, 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 doom. I was born 1 in the morning when the sun didn't shine. I picked up my shovel and I walked to the mine. You load 16 tons of number 9 coal and a straw bus set. Oh, well, bless my soul. You load 16 tons, what do you get? Another day older and deeper in debt. St. Peter, don't you call me 'cause I can't go. I owe my soul to the company store. Doom, 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 ba-doom, doom, 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 ba-doom, doom, 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 doom. I was... Oh gosh, I can't remember the last lyric. Oh no. It's been years since I've sang that song. If you see me coming, better step aside. A lot of men didn't, a lot of men died. One fist survived, the other is still. If the right one don't get you, then the left one will. You load 16 tons, what do you get? Another day older and deeper in debt. St. Peter, don't you call me 'cause I can't go. Oh, my soul to the company store. Do, 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 do. Man, it's been ages since I've sang that song. Uh, what's another song? Oh, this song's a long one. But I'm gonna sing it anyway because it's been years since I've sang this. Also, I'm gonna turn myself down just a touch. There we go. Just a little tippy touch. Um, how does it start? Oh yeah. When I was walking down the street last Sunday, feeling mighty low and kind of mean, suddenly a voice said, "Go forth, neighbor, spread your picture on a wider screen." And the voice said, "Neighbor, there's a million reasons why you should be glad in all 4 seasons. Hit the road, neighbor, leave your worries and strife. Spread the religion of the rhythm of life, for the rhythm of life is a powerful beat. Puts a tingle in your fingers and a tingle in your feet. Rhythm on the inside, rhythm on the street, and the rhythm of life is a powerful beat. Go, 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 go. Tell them everything you know. Go and spread the gospel in Milwaukee. Take a walkie-talkie to Rocky Ridge, all the way to Canton, then to Scranton, even till it under the Manhattan Bridge. You will make a new sensation, build a new foundation, build a growing congregation here below. Like a Pied Piper blowing, keep leading, keep the music flowing, keep the rhythm go, go, going, go, go, go. You will make a new sensation, have a growing congregation, build a glowing operation here below, go, go. Like a Pied Piper blowing, lead and keep the music flowing, keep the rhythm go, go, going, go, 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 go. Flip your wings and fly up high. Flip your wings and fly up high. Flip your wings and fly up high. Fly, fly, fly up high. Like a bird up in the sky. Like a bird up in the sky. You can do like a bird up in the sky. Fly, fly, fly real high. You can do it if you try. You can do it if you try. You can do it if you try, 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 try to fly. Doobie doobie, doobie doobie, doobie doobie, doobie doo. Doobie 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 doo. The rhythm of life is a powerful beat. A rhythm in your fingers and a rhythm in your feet. Rhythm on the inside, rhythm on the street, and the rhythm of life is a powerful beat. For the rhythm of life is a powerful beat. There's a rhythm in your fingers and a rhythm in your feet. Rhythm on the inside, rhythm on the street, and the rhythm of life is a powerful beat. To feel the rhythm of life, to feel the powerful beat, to feel the tingle in your fingers, to feel the tingle in your life. Life. Neighbor, you've got the rhythm, 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 rhythm of life. Man, that is a way throwback to when I was in choir. That is an old throwback. Oh gosh. Oh, I love All I Want for Christmas Is You. That is I was so close to actually doing that for Idol's Carol this year. And Desk stopped me from doing it because I'm like the only one that would be able to do it properly is Chad Idol from the Discord chapter. I always figured Idol would love the Miners chorus from the fine print. I've never seen the fine print. Um, hum, 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 and sometimes in our lives, we all have faith, we all have sorrow, but if we are wise, we know that there's always tomorrow. Lean on me when you're not strong, and I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on, for it won't be long till I'm gonna need somebody to lean on. So call on my brother when you need a hand. We all need somebody to lean on. I have a problem that you'd understand. We all need somebody to lean on. Okay, well, I'm just going way back into my memory of school choir and whatnot. Ah, so much fun, such a fun time. See you later, Pensive. Glad you could drop by. Um, what's my favorite pony songs? Oh, that's a hard one. That's such a hard one. There's so many good ones. Hmm. Welcome to the Show is one I absolutely loved. You'll Play Your Part is another one. Um. Oh, what's that one? Children. What is it? Children of the Night? Yeah, Children of the Night. I know that's an adapted one from a musical, but it's still so good. Oh, yeah, yeah, you sent me that one before. I just can't recognize it from the title. Um, what's other good ones that I've heard recently? Oh, this one's also not a pony's song. It's an adapted one, but The Last Pirate of Saskatchewan. It's a pony music video, so I'm counting it. Uh, Come, little children, I'll take thee away into a land of enchantment. Come, little children, the night's come to play here in my garden of shadows. Ooh. Follow, sweet children, it must be this way, to weary of life and deception. I don't know if I've heard of Aviator's cover, but I think the one I'm thinking about is from Ellie Monty, or Ellie Monty at least sings it. I don't know if Aviator like composed it or not or something. Well, I used to be a farmer and I made a living fine. I had a little stretch of land along the CB line, but times went by and though I tried, the money wasn't there. And the bankers came and took my land and told me fair is fair. I looked for every kind of job, the answer always no. Hired you now, they'd always laugh, we just let 20 go. The government, they promised me a measly little sum, but I've got too much pride to end up just another bum. Then I thought, who gives a damn if all the jobs are gone? I'm gonna be a pirate on the rivers Saskatchewan. And it's a heave ho, hi ho, coming down the plains, stealing wheat and barley and all the other grains. And it's a ho, hey, hi, hey, farmers bar your doors when you see the Jolly Roger on Regina's mighty stores. That's always such a catchy song. You are now in tune to Cringe Part 2. What? What is that supposed to be? What? I'm back. I'm just doing what comes naturally. Oh man, if any of you have ever not heard Biggering, listen to Biggering. It's a cut song that would have made the Lorx movie so much better. Even though I usually even though I usually have a very forgiving stance on movies. So was it? So everyone's like, "Oh, this movie was good. It was terrible and whatnot." For me, a movie is successful in being a movie. Soldiers of the Night. Oh, that's an oldie. I love that one. That's a good one. That's a really good one. Slipstorm. I love Slipstorm stuff. They do a lot of good stuff. We're soldiers of the night. Oh, I listen to that all the time for like 2 years straight. uh, but what was I talking about? Oh yeah, a movie or TV show or even song. If I was entertained, it's a good movie. Even if it wasn't even if it wasn't a technically good movie, if I was entertained by it, then by my standards, it's a really good movie. For example, a movie that everyone hates on, the first Suicide Squad, the original Suicide Squad. I enjoyed it. I had a good time. I had a good time watching it. Is it a is it like a perfect movie? No. But did I have fun watching it? Yeah, a ton. A whole lot. It's one of the reasons like why Ant-Man like why the Ant-Man part of the MCU is like one of my favorite movie series because they're just so much fun with it. But yeah, Soldiers of the Night, great. Oh, they made an updated version of Soldiers of the Night. Okay, watching that after stream. Anyway, but or like the updated Discord. That's also a really good one too. Not the one by Living Tombstone. Everyone loves the Living Tombstone one, and I've gone back and forth on it. But now I'm much more of a fan of the original by Eurobeat Brony. it's just it's just so great. Um, I remember another song that I really got into when I first heard it was Anthropology, another classic one. It's kind of funny. When I first listened to Brony Polka by Animated James, I didn't recognize half the songs in that list. And then by the time Viva released their animated version of Brony Polka, I knew like 98% of the songs in that list. Like I think there's only a handful that I don't know, and those are like the more earlier on songs like Pony Waifu and um Was it? What one is it? I love you cheerily. What's the third one? It's just a good fool us. They'll drive you to the cosmos. Ascribe you. Sarah. Some. They found. Keep friends, they will drive you to the cosmos. Ascribe you may. I don't know that one. For my book club, we decided for Christmas to all get a copy of The Grinch. I went out to find a grade school production, including a child getting lost on stage. It was great. Nice. Not book reviews that month. I've never heard of that song. What's an old one? Good Old Days. Skitty up. That's the name of the game. Swinging like crazy, everyone goes insane. Everyone's like gold gramophones and oh, radio's always a hell of a time. Listen to me, young man, the old days are grand. You walk up to the beach and watch your hooves on the sand. Have no worries, always grand as can be. So everybody, so open your eyes and see. Trot with me through the autumn leaves and keep close to stay warm. Soon you'll see how much you mean to me. Feelings I never felt before. Um, if you want a recommendation uh, for Christmas stories, Polar Express, always a classic. Um, that's such a good one. I love that book, especially the illustrations. They just make everything so cozy. Whoever did the illustrations for the book is perfect. What's another book? This one is more on the religious side now that I read it as an adult. But I remember I always loved reading this as a kid. It's called The Life of Jonathan Toomey. It's such a good story. I'm not going to. I guess it's not really spoilers since it's a fairly short book. It's like it's a guy who lost his wife and child in childbirth, moves to a whole different town, and is just kind of like the grumpy carpenter. And this lady, this lady and her son moved to town, and they lost their was their manger set. I can't remember the actual name of the manger scene set, and so the boy sits in. The boy asks this old grumpy carpenter if he could watch him carve the new figurines, and it's just such a cute story. And the boy is like, "Sir, I don't mean to interrupt, but you're not doing, you're not drawing the sheeps. You're doing the sheeps wrong. My sheeps were proud, sheeps because they knew they were witnessing the birth of Christ and whatnot." It was like a really heartwarming story. Anyway, yes, Good Old Days. That it's such a good one. But let's see what other ones. I haven't read Beyond. I haven't watched Beyond Her Garden. Another good one. Another good song that I remember listening to a lot was One Trick Pony. A one-trick pony's only got one song. A one-trick pony plays it all night long. A one-trick pony never tries something new. A one-trick pony could be me or be you. I only remember the chorus of it because it was just so catchy. It was really catchy. Also, I think I need new headphones. These ones keep crackling. And they've been missing the padding for... they've been missing the earphone padding for like a month now. I just haven't gotten new ones. Yeah, I couldn't remember the name of the pony of in Beyond Her Garden. Carrot Top. That's it. Carrot Top, go beyond us. You're a late sir. Come to fool us. Give a friend shows. They will drive you to the cosmos. Ascribe you. Meh. I also don't know the vinyl song that happens right after that. I never listened to that one. I didn't even listen to Octavia when it came out. I only listened to it after Roni Polka came out with it. Actually, I think the songs in One Trick Pony, that's so good. One Trick Pony's only got one song. One Trick Pony plays it all night long. One Trick Pony never. Oh wait, how could I not put in one of my favorite tunes from the fandom? And that is Rainbow Factory, as well as Pegasus Device. Oh my gosh, those are just such classics for me. Yeah, I never watched a Tropical Octave. Oh, that was by Animated James. Okay, Viva did really good for like matching Animated James style. Um, And now a rainbow's tale isn't quite as nice as the story we knew of sugar and spice. But a rainbow is easy once you get to know it, with the help of the magic of the Pegasus device. Oh, that that violin coming in at the end. Oh, so good. That was such an emotional song for me back then. Like, oh, that's so good. It's so good. I think I watched the one animated by Sliff Storm before I actually watched the original one by Wooden Toaster. um, was it Sliff? It might not have been Sliff. It was like a SFM pony video, and man, everyone was doing SFM pony videos back in the days. The height. Okay. Alrighty then. I think I've stalled long enough. Time for us to time for us to get into the chapter, right? All right, but chapter 50, gallivanting. I have you now, your highness. Your efforts are for naught, and you will rue this day. I intoned as I lifted the spike, preparing to slam it down in victory, crushing my foe utterly. Sky 6. Okay, now I have to remember how to do Luna's voice. Yep, singing's done. uh, it's true. I never said my favorite show songs. Okay, quick tangent into my favorite. I did do a couple of show songs. Um, it was Giggle at the Ghosties, Find the Music in You, Raise This Barn, um, uh, most of the ones from Magical Mystery Cure. Uh, not Find My Way. I don't like that one. It's too depressing for me. These animals on list. Oh, what my cutie mark is telling me. That's a good one. Cutie mark is telling me. True friend. Light of your cutie mark. Oh, such a banger. You'll play your part. Also so good. Only 75 minutes of stalling. It's fine. Just play The Fun Has Been Doubled on loop a few times and you'll have it done, Pat. You'll play your part. We understand you wanting more. A chance to shine, a chance to soar. Soon will come the day it turns around. Know that your time is coming soon. As the sun rises, so does the moon. As love finds a place in every heart, You are a princess, you'll play a part. I've got to find a way is great if you treat it as a lead in to True True Friend. This day aria, I keep going back and forth on this day aria because it is the classic, like Disney esque song in the show. But. So I've seen a lot of people really enjoy Find a Way. I've seen so many covers of Find a Way too. Um, but for me, it's too short, it's too depressing, and it kind of doesn't really have that many memorable lyrics to it. And I might be just misremembering it because I haven't watched that show in ages. But True True Friend and um, True True Friend and What My Cutie Mark is Telling Me, those are like my like S tier songs from the show. Although I also haven't listened, I haven't even watched the show from season 6 onwards. Uh, but yeah, I like This Day Aria. I also really enjoy the cult version of This Day Aria. Works for both really nicely. It's just not one that you can really hum. Like it's like Hellfire from Hunchback of Notre Dame. Hellfire, great song, awesome song. It's just it's a song that you don't listen to all the time or you don't hum all the time because if you're going to sing Hellfire or This Day Aria, you're going to be belting it. And I just don't do that enough. I should do it. I should do it more often. I love singing songs. I just haven't done it in a while. True True Friend, Surefire Depression Cure, also Giggle at the Ghosties. That is a like sleeper hit. Stop the Bats. Oh, such another great one. Another good one. Go full bore. Okay, okay. I'll give you this. I'll sing this day aria. Do you want to listen to the original version or the cult cover of it? Because I'll do either. But choose. Choose wisely. No, I'm not singing both. Only one. You can only have one. One song. Original? Okay, got one for original. Anyone else going to pop on in? I've heard you try deep voice songs. You want me to try doing cadence? Oh no. Okay, two for original from the people that. No, we're not doing This Is the Song That Never Ends. Probably. Would if ponies got into a heart song of This Song Never Ends, would they actually never stop and they just constantly be singing it? Or is it just not catchy enough to be a heart song? Which I'm saying heart songs because that's what one fanfic labeled it as is uh, for just everyone getting up and randomly singing as a heart song. And I'm like, that is a great term for it. And I don't think it's ever discussed in the show. So for now until ever, I'll always label it as a heart song. Okay, I'll sing the cult version at the end of the stream. All right. Original one. Here we go. I'm moving the mic a little bit away. That way I don't completely destroy the headphone users here. Heart song is so ingrained into my mind as the correct term that I'm confused when someone actually needs me to explain it. Yes, same here. I don't even know what fic says heart song in it that I learned it from. It's just now the only thing I can refer to it as. I don't even think they Idol as a rapper would be hilarious. I could kind of see him rapping, although I feel like he would enjoy the more slow, steady paced songs rather than being a rapper. Maybe Idol after Chrysalis mess with his mind would be a rapper. Maybe just to let emotions out. But I don't see classic Idol being a rapper. He'd be a deadpan rapper. Okay, I could see that. I don't listen to too much. I don't listen to barely any rap, so I don't know rapping styles. But anyway, you want this day aria? You'll be getting this day aria. This day is going to be perfect, the kind of day in which I've dreamed since I was small. But instead of having cake with all my friends to celebrate, my wedding bells, they may not ring for me at all. I could care less about the dress. I won't partake in any cake. Vows, well, I'll be lying when I say that through any kind of weather I'll want us to be together. The truth is I don't care for him at all. No, I do not love the groom. In my heart there is no room, but I still want him to be mine. We must escape before it's too late. Find a way to save the day. Vows, hope, I'll be lying if I say I don't fear that I may lose him to one who wants to use him, not care for love and cherish him each day. For I also love the groom, all my thoughts he does consume. Oh, shining armor, I'll be there very soon. Finally the moment has arrived for me to be one lucky bride. Oh, too late to end up. Oh, I can't remember the last bit. No. We'll end up marrying a fake. Shining armor will be mine. All mine. Hold on. That won't do. I have to do a proper this day aria. I can't slander this day aria like that. I even missed the opening to Cadence's thing. God dang it. Yeah, right? You would want to brainwash Cadence over Shining. Because it's like, oh, Shining's love for Cadence is more powerful than Celestia. It's like, wait, hold the phone. Isn't the prince... how is... The princesses, like, yeah, okay, story-wise, that makes sense. But, what? I guess soaking up Cadence's love for however long Shining dated Cadence makes sense. But at the same time, if you had brainwashed Cadence instead of Shining Armor, you would have had unlimited love supply from the Princess of Love. The wedding we want. Yeah, I have to do that. I have to do that all over. I missed so many lyrics. I missed like an eighth of the lyrics. This day's going to be perfect, the kind of day of which I've dreamed since I was small. Every pony will gather around, say I look lovely in my gown. What they don't know is that I have fooled them all. This day was going to be perfect, the kind of day of which I've dreamed since I was small. But instead of having cake with all my friends to celebrate, my wedding bells, they may not ring for me at all. I could care less about the dress. I won't partake in any cake. Vows, well, I'll be lying when I say that through any kind of weather I'll want us to be together. The truth is I don't care for him at all. No, I do not love the groom. In my heart there is no room, but I still want him to be mine. We must escape before it's too late. Find a way to save the day. Hope I'll be lying if I say I don't fear that I may lose him to one who wants to use him, not care for love and cherish him each day. For I oh so love the groom, all my thoughts he does consume. Oh, shining armor, I'll be there very soon. Finally, the moment has arrived for me to be one lucky bride. Oh, the wedding we will make, he'll end up marrying a fake. Shining armor will be mine, all mine. Because of who and what Katie is. Although we've never seen that the alicorns can't be brainwashed. Uh, but games would tell that Shining's feelings for other ponies would be different. Alicorn of Love, basically immune to changeling mind control. I could kind of see that, although it's not confirmed in canon. So as much as I love your lore around alicorns being super resistant to mind stuff, it, at the same time, I'm like, in the show they never said anything of that. So it's incredibly impossible that Cadence could have taken the place of Shining, and yeah, and then a brainwashed Cadence. So yeah, having Shining under Chrysalis's control would make sense. Cadence loves him. Yeah, yeah, that's true. But if you might control Cadence, the love is fake. But is it fake though? Because if she thinks that she loves, because like if you say the love is fake, if you brain control Cadence, you'd have to say that love is fake from Shining as well because they brainwash Shining. So I don't think that mind controlling him would make the love fake. It's a very weird thing. I really wish they went more in on changelings in the show, and maybe they did. I haven't watched since season 5. I don't know, wherever to where and back again is in the whole season's list. Shining does control the guard. That is very true. That is a very point. Also, the whole thing, there's one major aspect to a Canterlot wedding that, like, story wise, doesn't quite make sense, and of one, who revealed that there was a threat against the crown? If it was, if it happened to be Chrysalis, well, why did she do that? That doesn't make any sense. Also, she was already in the shield. If no threat had been made against the crown, then it could have just been a whole. Then Canterlot would have been absolutely defenseless, and the changelings didn't even need to break in. And they could have just taken, like, while the ceremony was happening, and the guards would have been so surprised. Like, what? And unwilling to pretend to be Mel. Yeah, that's probably true. Pinky read the script. We're talking about Canterlot wedding. and why Chrysalis didn't go for controlling Cadence instead of controlling Shining. But yeah, why did? But yeah, like like the whole thing doesn't make sense because it's like because Anthony C or Anthony C did a whole video with Brony Curious about this exact thing, and this was also one of their major flaws with the story. It's like if the shield was up before Chrysalis got there, then so she had to sneak her way in. Why couldn't she have snuck in all the other changelings in that same way? If it was a case of the bubbles put up after Chrysalis got there, then why the heck would she allow the shield to happen at all if she was already in that position of power? It doesn't make sense. In the way that V wrote it, it makes sense. I like the way that V wrote it, but the show, it doesn't at all. Could have been replaced. People screwing up, covering the wrong way. Idle went Alicord, and thus everything was revealed. He's canon now. Idle exists to screw up plot holes. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Idle is canon because that's the only way some plot holes make sense. Maybe Kevin. I still highly think that Kevin is actually Idle. That is, I think even V's kind of proved it because, like, for the longest time, I think the splash screen for his Patreon was Kevin sitting next to the Changeling of the Guard emblem. But that would make it seem like Shining put up the shield before Chrysalis got there. So how did Chrysalis get there? Like, there's another story. I think it's called. Oh, what's it called? It's one of my. It's like my second favorite Changeling story. Oh, what's it called though? It's been ages since I've looked up this story. Absolute ages. I might have to go very far back. Please don't. Oh gosh, 8 pages. Um. Gosh, this is so hard to find. It shouldn't be this hard to find. I'm going to find this if it kills me. Because it also had. Ooh, it updated. Okay, I gotta read that. That's a different book, not the one I'm looking for. And I've read a lot of Changeling stories. I didn't even realize it. Chrysalis is a future Cadence after Shining has died of old age. I could see that. I could totally see that. I still need to read Strange Case of Lord Deface. I also love that that's how, like, a fandom name. Changing Views. by Warhawk. Changing Views is a really good fic. I highly recommend it to everyone. It's by Warhawk. It's on FimFiction. Unfortunately, it's been on hiatus since 2016. So great story, but it didn't get finished, which is sadness. But I highly recommend reading it anyway because it's just that good. Um, but it explains that the shield was up beforehand. The shield was up way beforehand, but it was a case of. But while Cadence was making her way to Canterlot by train for the wedding, Chrysalis replaced her on the train and captured her in there, and a few personal guards around there as well. And then they slipped in the bubble that way because the bubble wasn't expelling changelings. It was like some sort of unknown danger, but since they were allowed to pass through the shield, it didn't work. So her and a small contingent of guards made it through with the captured Cadence. Barely easy, super easy, barely an inconvenience. And I like that explanation as well, although it kinda doesn't. It kinda falls apart because it's like, why isn't Cadence in Canterlot to begin with? I mean, we haven't seen Cadence since before the wedding. Like, we've never seen Cadence or Shining before the wedding, so we have no idea their whereabouts. But I would think that Shining would either at least accompany his fiancée to the wedding, or if they're not already in the same city, I don't know. But that was like one of the better recommendations. Hope you make some good spaghetti. It's called Changing Views by Warhawk. I will warn you, it's on indefinite hiatus, but it is a good read. Mission across Equestria, head of state doesn't always stay in the capital city, although Shining does stay with her. At least in Changing of the Guard. Like, Shining's basically Cadence's personal guard, which, granted, wouldn't always happen, especially when you have to keep a bubble up around the city. Especially when you need to keep a shield bubble up around the city like Shining has to do. So it makes it work in certain ways. Also, I think these headphones are dying because I keep on going out. It keeps on getting super radio staticky, and I'm not sure if that's my mic settings or my headphones. He's got good practice with Luna and her gold. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. And also, Shining's always just a master of shields because it's his cutie mark and whatnot. I forgot what I was going to talk about. I guess now's the perfect time to start reading with only an hour left in stream. Sky 6. Sky 6. No. Sky 6. Sky 6. Thou hast enthundered my cumulonimbus. Thou hast enthundered my cumulonimbus, came the bitter response from my defeated foe. 'Twas our favorite. 'Twas. Luna's so hard. Luna's so hard to do. Oh no. Why am I hopping on now? We could stop it a third time. No. 105-minute delay. Y'all get better and better at your jobs, I'll just have to say. Thou hast thundered my cumulonimbus. Thou hast thundered my cumulonimbus, came the bitter response from my defeated foe. 'Twas our favourite, I suppose. 'Twas our favourite. I summoned forth a typhoon, ere one through cloud 3. Also, I want to see a pony version of Battleship because Battleship is just a flat plane. So is Pony Battleship basically like 3D chess? I still enjoy Luna's terrible accent. Yes, absolutely. Have Luna speak via TTS. Oh no. Oh no. Yeah, so is Pony version of Battleship just like fourth dimensional Battleship? Because yeah, it would have to be. Also, or no, three-dimensional Battleship, I guess, technically. Yeah, probably. Also, how would their game boards work? That would be. I would so love to see that. You see, in Pony Battleship, you place your ships on the wall between the players and your targets on the other person's board. And your targets on the other person of the other person on the board flat in front of you. Thing is, though, is that Air 1, Sky 6. So we have three different sections. We have air, cloud, and sky. What? Or do they mesh into each other? But also, if they mesh into each other, what's the difference between air and sky? Like, seriously, I'm extremely like the Pegasus edition. Yes, I know it's Pegasus, but it has three different sections. Regular Battleship only has one. You have the ocean. B1. You sunk my battle cruiser. But air, you have air, cloud, and sky. What's the difference? What if it's like just like determining which terrain is which? That's fine. But then what's the difference between air and sky? If that's the case. If it's not, then you have at least three levels of pieces to keep track of. So you have X, Y, and Z, or Z, because I'm not British. Aluminum, linoleum, aluminum, linoleum, aluminum, linoleum, aluminum, linoleum, aluminum. But so it's like you either have three playing fields where you have to keep track of all your units, or they just mesh from one to another. I actually figure they don't use Z. It's too hard to make a board game that does that. Air is the ocean, wind is sky. Air is the ocean, wind is X, sky is Y. What? I need your. I just need you to help me figure this out, because this has been something that's been niggling at the back of my head for years. How does this board game get set up with three different zones with three different names, and why? Or is it just so that way you could use three different names, and so you could use sky, cloud, and air, and not just use B4 or B17? He didn't create the monster. He's just. It's just his problem now. I've always been this fascinated with mechanics. With mechanical and tinkering things and how things would work. Which is why if you've ever followed me, if you have ever seen any of my artworks or read any of the stories that I've written, they all delve around machines. Because I just like knowing how things work. I would probably make a great engineer or maybe a programmer if I really wanted to do that. I mean, he made Pony Battleship. You've merely exasperated it. I need sketches. I need blueprints of this. Let's go. Let's go, people. Let's have it. It's just Battleship with clouds. So, if it's Battleship with clouds, why are there 3 different zones? but yeah, that like if you've ever wondered why is Equinox posting so much stuff about like mechanical machines, uh, I'm like oh like yeah, that's the reason because I'm absolutely fascinated with how things interconnect. Also, I just realized you haven't. We've been in the starting soon screen for this entire stream. The stream has always been starting soon. Air, sky, clouds, and everything else are just better than A, B, C, D. Okay, okay, that makes sense. Gotha punched through the clouds. How much firepower can an anvil output in 1 minute? What's the armor thickness of a cumulonimbus? I don't know. You'd have to read Fallout Equestria for the armor worthiness of a cumulonimbus. uh, can supercells destroy marines? That is. I mean, you'd have to factor in hail updraft. Ooh, yeah, that's true. And you have to. Yeah, the weather effects are basically AOE. Yeah, pretty much AOE on that part. Cloud 3. And you have shattered my thunderhead. And you have shattered my thunderhead. I sighed, now disappointed. Victory is yours, but the international community will have words for your excessive. And you have shattered my thunderhead. I sighed, now disappointed. Victory is yours, but the international community will have words for your excessive use of force. I placed 8 white pegs before placing the final red peg into my largest cloud and showing the Royal Highness her victory. Even if the princess had only needed to find one remaining lone spot, having sneezed and knocked her own pegs off the board had become such a routine action over the last few days that I had suggested weaponized hurricanes as a weapon either of us could use, well, once to make up for the unusual circumstances. It made for a considerably more aggressive playstyle. We had also experimented with moving any clouds by 1 peg each turn, but that had extended the game far beyond either of our interests. Typhoon is essentially a nuke. Yeah, that's true. Basically, won via war crimes. You have to nuke the enemy fleet to win. Yeah, that's true. Also, that is another thing that another story brought up. That is another thing the story brought up, and it was so interesting to me because I'd never thought of it that way before. It was a human and Equestria story. It might have been human turned pony. I can't remember the exact circumstances, but I can't even remember what story it came out of. But it was all about what's the word? It was people were chatting, and the main character brings up that, oh yeah, it would have been about through. We've been about through having a hurricane, talking about having a hurricane season and about weather and whatnot. And one of the ponies was thinking to herself, hurricanes being like the most devastating weapon ever used by the Pegasi, and these people just have to deal with having a whole season of this. And I'm like, yeah, that's true. Any normal weather effect that we're used to would be just considered weapons of mass destruction. Falstar is also a reference to another series by Robin Hobb. Clyde Falstar is the head of the Royal Assassins. Send me a link. To be fair, you have to nuke the enemy fleet to win. tornado wouldn't be necessarily a neutron bomb, because the thing about tornadoes, I took a meteorology course and a natural disasters course, but the thing about tornadoes is that they move quick, they're very destructive, but they don't last long, and they only destroy a very select few things. Whereas a hurricane, large, you can see it from a mile away, but it's coming for you, and it's going to hang around for a long time and destroy and just tear up things slowly. So maybe not a neutron bomb, but maybe a tornado is more like carpet carpet bombing. Maybe that's the most akin thing to carpet bombing is tornadoes. Uh, Hurricanes, though, I'd probably say that's the closest thing to a nuke that the ponies have access to. Because if you let a hurricane run rampant long enough, it can also spawn one. It can also spawn tornadoes, and two, uh, it can and will destroy cities. But but tornadoes are not strong enough to keep up that force. Maybe they would in a pony world, maybe not. Ooh, Assassin's Apprentice. I've heard of these books. I've been wanting to read them, but I haven't lately. Uh, so yeah, I would say hurricanes are more like nukes than anything else because it's it has lingering damage effects on it and will as a city destroyer, but necessarily won't damage nature as a whole. We've been considering using nuclear weapons to disrupt hurricanes, but generally not considered strong enough for the side effects. Yeah. Like seriously, like hurricanes, terrible stuff. I don't want to get in anyone in between anything. Tornado, it's so I don't know what to equivalent tornadoes to because they have such a small area of effect. Your neighbor's house, your house could be completely destroyed by a tornado, but your neighbor's house on either side could be perfectly fine. Maybe missing a roof, maybe missing shingles or something like that. Uh, but but the path is for smaller tornadoes small enough to basically dodge around things. The higher up you go, maybe EF5 tornado could be considered more like a bombing. Uh, but I would, oh man, a radioactive hurricane that would just be absolutely disastrous. But yeah, like I would generally say tornadoes are more like old fashioned like carpet bombing than anything else. Uh, can take out a random select area while not completely destroying everything. Destroy more than the hurricane would, even if it attacks significantly offshore. Yeah. Let's see what else. Also, it's just fascinating how hurricanes form. Basically, like if a storm's sustained enough over a warm ocean, like 80 degrees Fahrenheit warm, that's when the official start of hurricane season is when the ocean warms up to that much. And then you get the Coriolis effect, which is that's what gives the hurricane its spin. And then the prevailing winds shoving it towards the US. And that's how hurricanes work. And I'm like, man, that is just a crazy set of coincidences that happen every year, but it's a crazy set of natural coincidences that happen consistently. All right. yeah, enough about meteorology and whatnot. Yeah, her Pegasi weapons were definitely devastating. Although I imagine unicorn weapons being even more so. Actually, that brings me to another thing. If that it actually kind of reminds me of this book series called Savage Skies. First book of it is Full of the Forest. Highly recommend it. Great stuff. It delves into ponies accessing 100%, accessing and using 100% of their innate magic. Yeah, Celestia can call down the fury of the sun, like unicorns with mega spells if they're casting it uh, together. Luna can just destroy the whole world, bring down the moon. She can do a whole Majora's Mask thing for for the moon. Although I could also imagine her also doing like a moonbeam, which would also just completely nuke an area. Maybe like the hammer from Invincible. But uh, but then it's like, so the whole series delves into accessing 100% and using 100% of Pony's innate magic, and how only 3 masters of these techniques were able to turn away an entire army by themselves. You have the unicorns and the steel way, where they basically become magic. They don't need to cast spells, they are magic in every sense of the word. um, Pegasi can generate lightning, create hurricanes with one flap of their wings, and the whole sky torn asunder from their whim and their whim alone, or and their will alone. And Earth ponies, the full force of the Earth turned against you, uh, including a technique which that was partially revealed, of a rolling stone, where basically if you have a target in mind, you will, and if you you it's a technique where you proceed towards a target, and you walking there builds up more and more power for you to release into your enemies, and it's terrifying. Also, you can cultivate land uh, in a different way than what you were expecting, because in that story, uh, if you cultivate a plot of land, like for example, the Apple family farm, you take care of the land, then basically you have even more control over it than other ponies would, and you can even weaken other Earth ponies' magic from them even being on your land. No, it's more like unicorns, nukes, Pegasi hurricanes, Earth ponies, landslides, uphill both ways, quicksand underneath everyone else's hooves, like Earth ponies, volcanoes, exactly. You have, and basically the only reason that the masters of the ways, the Pegasi Gale King, the unicorns Stillway, and and the Earth ponies, uh, Terra magic. I can't remember what the way of the Earth ponies is. Uh, it's just the tip of my tongue, but I can't think of it. But like, the only reason that they didn't get involved in the tribal warfare was they silently agreed that it it would be mutually assured destruction if if masters went of these ways went all out, fighting other masters of the way. Like, you can do some terrifying stuff with it. Your house being overgrown with ivy. You have What's that? The deadliest tree in the world? What's that tree? Whatever that tree's called. Anything from Australia coming to get you. I don't think Lyra was a Stillway Master. I think Sunset Shimmer was one. Uh, I'll link the first book into. I can't really. I don't want to talk about too much of it because I feel like I would be spoiling way too much with it, like examples, because it unfolds so well. Um, is an Earth Pony bioweapon? Oh yeah, I could totally see the Smooth being an Earth Pony bioweapon. But yeah, like I'm like, man, this would have been so cool to see in show. Like not like them fighting or but like the aspects of pony magic cuz all we really get with pony magic is that unicorns are very magical and they can do literally anything, even create life. Uh Pegasi, they can walk on clouds, make tornadoes if there's a lot of them, and they can fly. Earth ponies, they're there. I'm like, Earth ponies are not useless. They also have their own magic, and no one believed it. Oh man, imagine a mirror pool of just Earth Pony Masters hell bent on your destruction. You'd be dead. So dead. Super dead. Yeah, you like nowhere is safe. Nowhere is safe if you have an Earth Pony Master of the Way going after you. Earth ponies, so everyone knows that they're at least better than someone else. Earth ponies are the Hufflepuff of MLP. They're highly underappreciated. Which is why the alternate ego to Equinox is an Earth pony. Technically, he's a forest deity, but we're not going to talk about that. Ugandan. Oh, God. V. No. No, not. Not the do you know the way. Yeah, Earth ponies. They are. I'd say Earth ponies are just have the most subtle of magic. Not that they don't have magic, but they just have the most subtle magic because their magic is cultivation and being basically in tune with the earth. More, they're basically druids. Imagine druids, a whole race of druids, and that's where Earth ponies are. That's Earth ponies. 100% are just druids. Uh, I'm surprised to find that I went to eat dinner. You're still going. Yeah, that's fair. But it's like, but also Earth ponies are probably the most long-lived out of all the Earth pony tribes because we see in the show that um, Granny Smith is at least a few hundred years old, at least, because she was there for Ponyville's founding, and Ponyville has been around for hundreds of years. They didn't put a precise timetable, but I'm saying it may be at least 300 years old. Yeah, Earth ponies are herbalists. They're they're basically monks, and like seriously, everyone's saying, "Oh man, Earth ponies are the weakest." It's like, no, they're not. They'll still kick your ass. But they even have pictures of Granny Smith found of being part of the founding of Ponyville. No, Twilight says hundreds of years. For hundreds of years. Uh, Back in Winter Wrap Up, they've been doing the tradition in Ponyville for hundreds of years. And winter wrap up, they this is the way Ponyville's been doing for hundreds of years. Then we later learn that Granny Smith was part of the founding of Ponyville. She even has uh, photos to prove it, and I highly doubt ponies have Photoshop. So, well, I'll like show a clip because it's serious. Like when Twilight, I know exactly from what episode it's from. It's when Twilight is getting ready for winter wrap up the first time when she woke up way too early. Uh, Spike's like, why don't they just magic the weather away just like they do in Canterlot? And Celestia's like, and Twilight's like, we can't do that. Because that's Canterlot's traditional way of doing winter wrap up. But this is Ponyville's tradition that's been going back for hundreds of years. Granny Smith engages in dark magic. But thing is that even if they've been doing it before the founding of Ponyville, Celestia gave the land Ponyville was on to uh, they gave the land to the Apple family. So it makes it seem that the land has never been lived on before Celestia is like, all right, you apples can go over there by the killer forest. That's your land. Yeah, it's your plot of land now. Good luck, suckers. So I don't know. I just don't know. I think there's so few old ponies. Granny Smith gets her due. Oh gosh, where the timelines are made up and the plots don't matter. That's very true. I also heard some from somewhere is that someone's like, "Oh, why doesn't the sun and moon have the why are the unicorns taking care of the sun and moon and whatnot?" And blah, 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 blah. And someone pointed out that maybe the sun and moon would be on their actual orbits, but it's just much slower. It's just a really slow orbit, like, um, and that's why. And like, for example, like the orbit, the revolution of the Earth is a month long. So one moon is like from once the moon rises to once it sets again, and then like once unicorns and then later Celestia and Luna have shortened the day night cycle to the 12/24 hours that it is in the show, then a moon just meant like is traditionally just referred to as a month. I just believe that control of the sun and moon took up almost all the unicorn's magic. Side note, I always kind of took the tradition of winter wrap up as something Earth ponies as a whole did one extent to another. That's fair. But I think Twilight specifically says in winter wrap up that it's a Ponyville tradition that's been going down for hundreds of years. Whether or not that means that Earth ponies in general did it, or that it is or that it didn't happen to the Ponyville area until the apples moved in. We don't know. Also, if you control the weather, why does Appaloosa look like a desert town? It shouldn't. It shouldn't look like a Wild West town if you have full control over the weather. I get like it like may be an outpost or something like that, but they could still make it so that green stuff can grow there, except for cactuses. Other than cactuses, no. Oh, I saw Markiplier's playthrough of Shut In. It looks pretty. It looks pretty interesting. I kind of I'm I'm kind of interested in seeing all the different endings. Yeah, it screws with the ecosystem. Although, how much of the ecosystem is ponies actually screwing with? because they're doing that all across Equestria. Like, I get, like, now the ecosystem is kind of like stabilized to the point because ponies have been doing it for so long. What about before? Are ponies just still screwing with the ecosystem? It's just the ecosystem adapted to them screwing with them. So, I didn't even know there was a movie called that out yet. I don't know when movies come out anymore because I don't watch traditional TV anymore. Some areas are going to be desert, right? Pony stabilized. Yeah. I so there's a lot of things wrong with the ecosystem in Equestria. So there's one story that actually does explain why ponies control the ecosystem as much as they do, and I really like that explanation. Um, and it is a cultural thing that ponies control the weather. It's not actually required. It's just been ingrained into their culture that the reason that they should control the weather, because what happened. Like, this story is called Equestrian Landings. If you're interested, um, but basically, when ponies moved to Equestria, uh, Pegasi basically made it summer all year round, and but then that ended up kind of frying everything, and so it was like every slowly all of Equestria was turning into a desert, and so everyone panicked, and uh, then they used like natural areas like the Everfree to basically model their own weather system against, because and so now they're now ponies, and then so it made ponies in the early generations too afraid to not control the weather very precisely, because they don't want to deal with Wendigo winter or a Pegasi scorcher anymore. So that's why the seasons work out the way that they do in the show, and it's just been so ingrained into the culture of Equestria as a whole, not just Pegasi, that Pegasis are just like kind of just go with tradition because that's the way that they've always done it, and as well as an underlying fear that if they didn't control the weather, it would the whole system would go back into chaos. It's just ponies, but the most changing them too far is what makes Discord show up. Unless you're doing a large, you're going to spend an immense amount of effort keeping your artificial grassland slash savanna from drying out. It's very fair. But although ponies do a whole nationwide geoengineering all the time. Uh, but yeah, there was that story had like one of my favorite explanations for why ponies control the weather. It also explains why they feel the need to make a winter, even though they don't necessarily need to since they're geoengineering, but since that's the way seasons need to be in the Everfree Forest, that's the way that they keep it. Okay, and I I lost my train of thought. Like an Apple family saying, "Yep." Oh man. I mean, especially after destroying their barn, right? This not yak food. Yak smash. And oh man, I think Silver Quill made fun of that line the most of, we're at war And it's like Celestia comes out, curb stomps the yaks, and then with relative ease, and then just goes back. Badlands, the Griffin Mountains, the zebras live in deserts. Have you ever had streams where you don't narrate at all? Yes, actually. Um, there's been 2 or 3 of them where I haven't narrated at all. This one is not one of them because I did manage to get a few paragraphs through before I was distracted into oblivion. There was one stream where I just sang shanties the entire time because I just wanted to chat and sing shanties. And there was another one I can't remember right now though. But this stream is more or less of like a catching up since I haven't streamed in over a month, and I'm like, okay, we'll have a chill stream where I don't really get work done this stream. Then next stream, whether that is next week or the week after, I haven't decided yet, that's going to be when things get serious. Because now I have to actually. So have you ever? Dragonlance is just a bunch of angry volcanoes. True. Oh, so to anyone who. So here, I have an announcement to anyone who hasn't seen it already. But. There was something that happened. I don't know how it happened. But 2 recorded chapters vanished. And they're not on my computer or on my backup. So, I don't know what happened to them. They're just gone out of the ether. And so, what's going to happen is that as soon as I'm finished reading Gallivanting, we're going to go back and reread through which chapters was it? Basically, both chapters with Moth Chaser and Pristine Grinds. Let's see, what is it called? Cold Brew and a Slow Roast. I have to go back and re-record those 2 because they're just gone. More excuse for more streams. Heck yeah. So I'm going to wait to do those until after Gallivanting. I might even do it off stream. Maybe not. The reason why I do these streams in the first place was for me to read these things because I can't do them on my own. So that's what's been happening. So have to get those taken care of, and then we can get on to the Discord chapter. And of course it happens just before the Discord chapter too. Like, it's Gallivanting, then the Discord chapter, which I have a fun thing that I might do for the intro to that chapter, which I'll see how y'all like it when we get to that. But that's probably going to be about a few months away before we get to Discord now. So yeah, there's that announcement for anyone that wasn't in the know. So if you're wondering, hey, why haven't you uploaded? Why are we redoing Slow Roast and Cold Brew? That's the reason. So you might have to help me find out how to read Pristine Grinds again, because I've completely forgotten. I really need to do a character sheet for all these voices. I'm glad you enjoy, because this stream, I always love when y'all chat, and it works way too effectively for me to to continue reading. But I'm glad you enjoy it. I'm glad you're enjoying yourself. Alrighty then. Shall we get another paragraph out of the way? We have a half hour before the end of stream. So might as well, right? Might as well get this out of the way. Oop, oop, oop. Yep. Yep. Can this be true? Oh my gosh! This is a rare sight, everyone! This is such a rare sight! We haven't seen these in ages. Bronies used chat. It was very effective. Equinox is confused. Ah, very true. We have a typo! We haven't had typos in ages! Where's my ding? I got rid of my ding. Ah, no. I should bring back the ding one of these times. Do I have the ding downloaded? I don't think I have the ding downloaded. I will keep finding them, and you can't stop me. The sad is palpable. the tension was so thick. I wanted to reach out and smack it for it being so so tensions. Let's pretend it's Luna screwing up modern language. Can this truly be called a victory? Oh man, it's been a while, V. You've been doing great. You've been doing great with no typos. Been doing fantastic. But every once in a while, it slips through. And I'm always watching, Wazowski. Always watching. Can this truly be called a victory without Commander Fallstar? After so many battles unscathed, beloved by his people as he was? We fear there shall be no graciousness in victory from our side after the loss of such a mighty hero. And I fear my own will be emboldened, and the war will continue. And I fear my own will be emboldened, and the war will continue. I confirmed, saddened by the warlike nature of the tiny cloud figures. Oh man, I want to watch Idol play Candyland with Luna. I want to see that. It would be so funny. How soon will they be able to rebuild their How soon will they be able to rebuild their shattered armada? I would suggest it would be several months before they are capable of the next engagement. Indeed? Indeed? Then in the meantime, shall we turn our attention... Indeed? Then in the meantime, shall we turn our attention to the shooting ladders? The princess wiped her nose, utterly destroyed a lace handkerchief. Handkerchief. Handkerchief? What? Is that actually spelled right, or am I... Is handkerchief always spelled like this, and I've never noticed before? Or is this an actual misspelling? I have no idea. Seriously, I have no idea. You could have totally played it off of, yeah, that's how you spell handkerchief. And I would have gone with it, because I don't know how to spell handkerchief. Yep, that's how it's spelled. Sir, permission to be a typo? Also, wouldn't it be a hoofer chief? Because what do they have for hands? Then in the meantime, shall we turn our attention to the shooting ladder? Yeah, hoofer chief. Yeah, exactly spelled like that, Chris. Because, ponies don't have hands. What's this word you keep using? Man. I don't know, man. Why is my recording so much louder than my mic? I have no idea. Let me turn that down. Let me see if I can do something to turn that down. Let's see if that works. I don't know if that did anything, but if it did not, who knows? We're capable of the next engagement. Is that better? I hope that's better. Hope I'm not blowing out everyone's ears. Also, don't forget to welcome Ionic Games to the Madhouse, everyone. You've been randomly spiking in volumes throughout the chat. That's weird. All right, I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out soon enough. Indeed? Then in the meantime, shall we turn our attention to the shooting ladders? The princess wiped her nose, utterly destroyed a lace handkerchief, and gave a vigorous attempt at a sniffle. In the interest of prolonging peace, I would even accept the pursuit of trivia. Also, is it just me, or is Trivial Pursuit really hard? I don't... my sister absolutely loves that game. And for me, I'm like, I don't know half the things that are in this. Then again, last time I played it when I was about 10, so maybe it's better now. Wait, it's actually spelled? No, that can't be right. No, that's not true. It's impossible. That's true. Maybe we just had a really old Trivial Pursuit from like the 80s or something like that. Because that's the only thing that makes sense. Yeah, your parents or grandparents will ruin you. Yeah, that's true. I remember I was watching Jeopardy with my grandpa, and uh, like they were doing like some like new questions. I can't remember exactly which questions they were going for, and I answered immediately, and my grandpa had no idea what it was. But all the stuff that I didn't know he did, where like we should partner up and join Jeopardy together as like a duo because us together will destroy the world. Same thing for Seen It. I hate regular Seen It. Maybe it's because I've only played an old version of Seen It, but I hate regular versions of Seen It because they only do questions that are because the majority of the questions, and this always annoys me, is that it's like if they show a clip of a movie and whatnot, you could know the movie, you could know everything about that scene, but then instead of asking questions about the scene, they're like, who was the second director on this movie? I'm like, what the hell? What does that have anything to do with the clip that you just showed? Just tell me the movie and then ask me what director, who directed it, or like don't play a clip, make it seem like something from that clip's going to be important, and then don't reference it at all, other than being like, well, you should have guessed the movie then, and then have a photographic memory of who directed that movie. Like, what? So yeah, like I can't play regular Seen It, but Disney Seen It, they don't have stupid questions like that. So my family always plays Disney Scene It because that's the only questions that we are able to answer as a family are ones that don't need photographic memory of the IMDb page. Oh, I love this animation. That's a good animation. Also has really nice, really well they like I don't know what it is about the guards and that particular animation, but I love the look of the royal guard in that animation. Also, what do the guards do to get them thrown to the moon? The princess perked up. We could use the practice of single. The princess perked up. We could use the practice of the singleopoly. She pulled out her custom. She pulled out her self-customized box for the latest game, ensured that the gel was labeled of the moon. She pulled out her self-customized box for the latest game, ensured that the gel was labeled of the moon, and began doling out the credit tokens and various cards. We shall become a railroad tycoon this day. We shall become a railroad tycoon this day. We shall become a railroad tycoon this day. I shuddered. You are welcome to it, Your Highness. I would prefer the task of managing the public utilities. We shall make a We shall make a bureaucrat of you yet, Corporal Hooves. We must confess, the interests of the people have shifted greatly since our day. Games of chance and skill were less complicated. Why, in the days of our youth, a fool could be entertained with a hoop of iron and a stout stick. Children always make do. Before the hoop, they would have found some way to entertain themselves with the Children will always make do. Before the hoop, the children will always make do. Before the hoop, the hoop, the hoop, the hoop, the hoop is on fire. Do 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 do. Children will always make do. Oh, children always make do. Before the hoop, they found the. Man, this is as bad as colloquially. The hoop. Children always make do. Before the hoop, they would find. It's. Oh my gosh. It's because my family's from this one city called Hooper, and it's always been pronounced Hooper. And now, and it's spelled Hooper. So, hoop just becomes hoop. Unless you really try at it. Fun fact: there is also a city around here called Hurricane, not Hurricane, Hurricane. And if anyone catches you saying hurricane, they know that you're not from this state, because the name was put in place to make fun of early settlers to mimic their accents. So it will always be hurricane, and you can tell who didn't do their homework. Okay, so side note, because this has irked me. Stop calling it Hadouken. So, you know how Five Nights at Freddy's have a book series and whatnot? Well, the first ever book that was released They're in Hurricane, Utah. Now, that's not an issue in and of itself, but it is incredibly obvious. The narrator didn't look up how to pronounce town names because he says hurricane throughout the whole book, and everyone that I know that listened to the audiobook version of that always cringe because they're like, come on, that's not the name of the town. It's it's like another weird town name around here. It's spelled T-O-L. No, sorry, Toole. Toole. Uh, guess how you pronounce that town. No cheating. Guess how you pronounce it. I'll give you a few seconds while I answer V. Hoboken. Is Hoboken? Do you call Hoboken Hadouken now? But anyway, okay. So hold in your mind how you pronounce Toole as a town name. I'll reveal it to you. Tooele. Yep, that's how you pronounce it. Tooele. Don't ask me now. From what I heard, it's a family name, and so it, even though that should be pronounced Thule, it is not, and you will be corrected so fast. If you ever say, "Yeah, we were up in Thule," you mean Tooele? Everyone has their own. Every region has their own unique names for their towns. It's always fun to see what people call various things. Like, for example, what's called a forklift in the western half of the US might be called a jitney in Erie or in Pennsylvania or the East in general. Even though, what? A jitney? Don't ask me. I have no idea the connotations for those words. Or creek versus crick, mountain versus mountain. Even though the East doesn't really have any mountains, they don't really have any mountains. They have large hills, but no mountains. And I will keep on poking that bear until the day I die. Y'all have rivers over there. We don't have rivers here. We have basically creeks. You have rivers. I will give you that. But you don't have mountains. We got mountains. We got the we got the mountains over here. I live in a city called Regina after the princess. You know, Regina or Sissy. Oh, if people think I'm slow when I say Regina. Oh, yeah, Regina. Oh, is it Regina or Regina? Our city's name Ottawa? I don't know. West Coast has the cool landscape. East Coast has the useful landscape. Oh man, yeah, you're kind of right there. I, as in the pirates. I. Oh, okay. So, oh, I have. I'm lost how to pronounce it. Reg, in I, Regini, Regeni. Is that how it's pronounced? Close enough? Maybe, maybe not. Yeah, I could totally see that. Uh, But yeah, the only town name that I've ever seen that use that was like Regina. Yeah, that's how I always heard that word pronounced. Yeah, Regina. It's like it's a Canada name. It's closer to pronounced locally. It's super weird. Oh, gotcha, gotcha. So everyone else pronounces it Regina, and it's only very local that you pronounce it uh, like that. I get you. I get you. Yeah, yeah. I feel that. Or here's another example. So I actually took this test online that can actually figure out what part of the country you're in based on your accent. And it's accents like what you call certain things and how you pronounce things a certain way that would put your accent from one area to another. So when I go anywhere, people are like, "You're pronouncing your town name wrong. What's wrong with you?" Yeah, that's very fair. That's very fair. Some people don't believe me when I say Tooele is a town name, and I'm like, it is. Like, it, you mean Thule? I'm like, you're saying the name. They're like, no, you are. I'm like, I live this. I live next to there, or used to anyway. But um, like for example, oh, welcome, comma, welcome to the live stream. The last 12 minutes of it. Glad that you could join us. We were talking about like accents and like town names that aren't super obvious and are pronounced locally than they are elsewhere. 10 chapters in? Yeah, that's fairly accurate. 10 chapters in. Uh, like, for example, like if you live in the South, water fountains are called like bubblers, which never made sense to me, but you do you, South. So, like, if you live in certain areas of the country, you might call it water fountains, you might call it a drinking fountain, you might call it bubblers, or you might call it something else entirely. And for example, we have this bug here we call the potato bug, and elsewhere in the U.S., it could also be known as a woodlouse or as a roly poly. Picula or pacula. Ah, pacula. Tequila. Just finished moving earlier this week. Almost forgot about this. Oh, yeah. Congrats on the move. It's always fun to move to a new place. They're also called pill bugs. Yeah, potato bugs, pill bugs, or roly polies, or woodlouses. Like, you can pinpoint an accent super close to super accurately depending on where you live. It's called potato bugs out here because, you know, we live next to a lot of potatoes and they like to eat a lot of potatoes. So they're called the potato bug. Also, they kind of look like potatoes too. From Dink Small with the RPG. I've never played that RPG, but I totally understand where that's coming from because there's sometimes where I think about that for other animals too. Uh, or like for example, like the accent that I have now that's very slight. Maybe I don't know. It's kind of hard to hear your own accent. Uh, where I where I don't pronounce the T's in the middle of words, and it's a local accent, but I didn't notice it until it was pointed out to me, and I pointed out to you lot several times, Uh, and now it's going to be just always there, niggling that he doesn't pronounce T's in the middle of words, like potato, potato, potato bug. Yeah, potato bug. I might It might be a slight T. Your accent is the most aggressively soft accent ever. Or water, mountain, butter, winter. Winter is a little bit different one because you kind of need that hard T. But some people I've heard pronounce it as winter. Where I grew up, the accent was to drop the first and last syllable of words, then slur them together some. Yeah, I can see that. I think I've heard an accent like that before. uh, Tater bug. Yeah, it's a tater bug. It's a good old tater bug. Yeah, potato is like one of the only words that you can actually hear a T in it because it has two T's. So we ignore the first one and then go on the other one. Every other time it sounds like a D, or we just miss it altogether. It sounds like a stroke. Potato. You hear that first T, but then that second is a do. Potato. Not a potato. Oh, you're from Western Pennsylvania? Oh! I lived in Western Pennsylvania for ages, for like 3 years. I lived up in Girard. Or, no, I lived up in Lake City, but Girard is the bigger city that everyone knows where it's at. But I lived in Lake City up there. A really fun place, super tiny town. I don't go use guys, but I do use y'all quite a bit. Yeah, it was about 40 minutes away. Yeah, fun little town. Shopping mall that looks like a gun that's pointed at the Erie City Hall. Very that West Creek Mall. Very interesting design. Probably built by the mafia. We don't know. Imagine not using guys and y'all. Yeah, I all my accent is y'all or you guys. Although I'm trying not to say you guys all the time because even though it's like a dialect thing, I'm like I'm like y'all is way more encompassing than you guys. At least from a gender standpoint, but we're not getting into that right now. Yins guys is the bits. I never heard it being called yins before. But yeah, I lived in this tiny town in Lake City, and it was right next to a donut factory. So you would wake up. Um, so you would sometimes wake up and you could just smell the donuts, uh, just wafting in from the donut factory, like 3 houses down. It was insane. And then sometimes the best times were when they were making the blueberry donuts because you could smell the blueberry donuts. Yeah, I also see guys as gender neutral, but I know not everyone sees it like that. So it's whatever. If I know people are okay with that, then I'll use it. But if not, I'll just go for more gender neutral terms. Yeah, I actually never had a cheesesteak when I lived in Pennsylvania. Never. I also never went to Philadelphia either. So I think I actually only had a Philadelphia. I think I only had a cheesesteak once. is one. One shall understand when one reads this. Yes, that's true. Uh, that's why you don't say yins. Probably, right? I only lived there for like 3 or 4 years. No, three. Yeah, 3 years, 2.5. Yeah, 2.5 to 3 years. Basically from 2013. Yeah, it must have been 2013 to 2016 is when I lived there. Actually, I've never lived in the South, but I've tried biscuits and gravy before. It's really good. I will say it's really good. You don't have the cholesterol damage that makes your tongue not work right. I've been to Texas a couple times. My sister lives near there now. She lives in Nolens now, and she's been loving it. But yeah, what was one thing? What was it? There is a place in Pennsylvania that I want to try out again because I only went once, and I felt like I had a heart attack in the middle of eating there. But it was delicious. It was so good. Uh, I think it was called Cheezers or something to that extent. They specialize in making grilled gourmet grilled cheese sandwiches, and it was really funny because I had a grilled cheese sandwich with a lasagna in the middle of it. It was the best thing I've ever had. And it was big. It was like the size of, not the size of my head because that's too small. It was like the size of my chest. And I kind of want to try that out again. I I don't get y'all's fascination with Smith hot dogs. With Smith hot dogs, they're I will say they're not that good. I will take any and all flack for that, but Smith hot dogs are not that good. And everyone raves about them in Erie, and I don't understand it. Might have made war with the entirety of Pennsylvania, but that's my stance on it. He, my favorite dogs are like my family's favorite plain hot dogs are Hebrew Nationals. So good. Not a Swiss hot dog, a Smith's hot dog. Smiths, I think. But it is a brand of hot dog that is only available in. It's either only available in Erie or only available in like northwest Pennsylvania. Uh, and I've had a lot of people from Pennsylvania that when I lived there, they're like, I have family that come up uh, from other states, and they bring coolers to take Smith's hot dogs home with them for the trip, and I'm like, why? Those are not that good. Well, okay, so furthest south I've been, let's see, um, New Orleans. New Orleans is probably the furthest south I've been, unless Dallas somehow beats out New Orleans for the furthest south. Uh, yeah, I think I was in Erie County. Might have been the next county over. I can't remember. It might have been Mill Creek County. I'm not. I'm not too sure about that. Yeah, I think it might have been Mill Creek. Yeah, Mill Creek. Yeah, Mill Creek County. Yeah, Texas is staring your trip all over again. Yeah, Texas is just too big. It's basically its own country at this point. And I know it wants to be its own country several times over. Um, but yeah, I've been there a couple of times, mostly to visit, mostly to go to conventions. That's right. I don't think I've ever been to Texas any other time than going to Nightmare Nights in Dallas. That was fun. Oh, cool. Hell yeah. Had my family drive from Indiana and we're happy to hit Texas and suddenly had another 8 hours. Yeah, Texas is just way too big. Like, although I also complain that the states in the East are way too small, I'm like, we could fit several of you in my home state. How is this a thing? Although I will say, California is way too big for its britches. Like, they already treat it like two states. Let them just split in half, Northern and Southern California. I mean, we already have North and South Carolina. Why not get North and South California as well? Because even Disneyland treats North and South California as different states. I only know this because I visited my cousins in, no, my aunts. I only know because I visited my aunt uh, down in Marietta County, which is right next to Disneyland. And we went there, and they had this big old sign on Disneyland that says discounts for Southern California residents only. Specifically Southern California residents. And I'm like, what? It took me 12 hours to drive from Texas to Arizona with half the time in Texas. Yeah, that's how Texas be. As coastal Cali residents, I'm all for the state of Jefferson. I think we're all ready for Jonathan. But yeah, most of my travel outside of my home state has either been for conventions or to visit family. Not really anything in between. I only went to Baltimore because I went to BronyCon, went to Dallas because uh, of Nightmare Nights. I actually went the year before they stopped doing it. It was really fun. It's an actual statehood movement in Northern Cali and Southern Oregon. Ooh, interesting. I've been to Seattle for what was it? Everfree Northwest. That's a fun convention. Went to Vegas to visit uh, my cousins down there. I went to California to visit my cousins over there. And Erie to visit my brother when he was going through medical school. So yeah, I've been kind of all over, but never really to. It's kind of funny. I've been all over, but never to really visit the place where I've been. I'm getting better at that. I'm getting better at taking in the local stuff because oh man, when I went down to Louisiana, I've it was so there was so much cool stuff there. Wasn't there a proposal to split California into 6 states? Now hold on, 6 states seems a bit much. Two states is fine. The West is mainly desert anyway, so we kind of have these big states that we kind of have. Yeah, the Texas is just so big, so big. Yeah, uh, but yeah, so many cool places. And I want to kind of travel again. I just haven't had the money for ages in order to do that. I kind of want to make Joshua Tree its own state. That's fair. Uh, Northern and Southern. And who else knows any other cities in Nevada other than uh, Las Vegas? I know a couple, like Tree Mountain and Carson City, but that's only because my cousins lived there, and then they moved down to the Las Vegas. Although they actually technically live in Carson because they it's right outside of Las Vegas technically. I'd say we have some state pride. Um, yeah, I, I mean, probably not the same way in Texas. I mean, I don't know too much about Texas. Like, if you're flying your own state flag, like on your uh, on like your own personal flagpoles, then no, we don't have that level of state pride. I don't know if Good Springs is in Cali, Nevada. Let's see. Let me. I want to check. Now you're making me curious. Uh, it says Nevada. Yeah, it says Nevada. Fallout New Vegas taught me just fine. State or Providence pride just seems so weird to me. Yeah, I can kind of see that. I mean, I'm all about like celebrating like where you live and whatnot. It's that's just an interesting thing. Uh, hey, it's pride. It's just a different kind of state pride because because I'd say state pride is more about like the local culture, celebrating local culture than rather than yeah, I'm in Texas and everything's big in Texas and let's get some brisket that we smoked for 3,000 years. Ah, it's gonna be so good. Like and God, I love being in Texas, America. Like I don't think like I know that that was just a major stereotype of Texas, but but I would say that state pride is more about celebrating your local culture and cuisine than it is anything about celebrating like uh, the land itself. Because there's a lot of cool stuff about Utah and whatnot. Like a greatest snow on earth. Like even better than Colorado. Suck it, Colorado. but or like you have Zion's National Park, uh, Bryce Canyon, beautiful wildlife and parks and whatnot. Antelope Island, which I lived next to for generations. Uh, but then there's like just like local cuisines that I didn't realize were local cuisines until I went out of state. The most famous one, I'll let you know, is um, fry sauce. Oh, have a good night, Elite. Thanks for dropping by. Hope to see you next time. Uh, is fry sauce. If you ask anyone outside of Utah, maybe Colorado, maybe the states surrounding Colorado, states surrounding Utah, I think they might have it in Idaho as well, is fry sauce. Fry sauce was invented in Utah, and it's very simple, but everyone always has their own little twist to it. Like the classic example of it is it's just mayo and ketchup. That is the basis of fry sauce. And then everyone adds on their own little touches to it. Like Red Robin's has fry sauce where they put in barbecue sauce into it. I know other places that put a little bit of mustard into it, vinegar. They put in diced onions, or pickle or something like that, and then it just becomes its own sauce. But if you ask for fry sauce at any restaurant outside of Utah, for fry sauce, they'll be either confused or they'll hand you ketchup. And it's kind of weird to see that as a local cuisine, but it's kind of it's just a sauce that we do. Also, funeral potatoes. Those are those are really good stuff. Think of like potato au gratin, but somehow even more unhealthy. And you got funeral potatoes. They're great, super delicious. I think shepherd's pie might have been a thing here too, although I've seen that all over. So don't know if it's a local cuisine. It's like a family cuisine for me because we had that all the time when growing up. Anyway, where was I going with this? I don't know, but it's just like who needs state pride? Just have have a fun time in the state that you're living in, and no one no one cares if you're from Texas or New York or Nolans or what have you. They'll be interested because if you're like an out of or tourist, whatnot, and be like, "Oh, I love your accent. Where are you from?" and stuff like that. But or they might want to like chat with you and get to know you better. But just being like, I I would never go around with a shirt that said Utah Pride or just have like a big Utah anything designating it just plastered over a shirt because I live with that. I live here every day. I don't need to show pride because it kind of makes you look like a tourist. It's like you can always instantly spot a tourist in any city because they're wearing the tourist merch. Basically, the I Love New York shirt is for only for tourists that have been to New York. uh, uh, you have NOLA for people that are going. For those are for the tourists that went to New Orleans. Oh, and just things like that. Cali people are very interesting to me. Yeah, it's California is an interesting place because there's such a difference between Southern California and Northern California that they might as well be two states. And it is just so interesting to see that gradient. I've never been to Northern California, but everything I've seen about Northern California makes it seem like a whole different world than from Southern California. And they have their own like weird, they have their own like interesting stuff and cultures down down there, and it's weird, and it's fun. Even though we make fun of it, it's fun. And they're in on the joke too. So, uh, like how all Texans seem to be in on the joke that we make fun of them for everything being bigger in Texas, even though technically, uh, Alaska's a bigger state than Texas, and they hate that. I'll see you later, comma. Thanks for dropping by. Hope to see you next time. Oh, have fun editing a chapter. Editing's so boring. I will say that, unfortunately. And what's with all these Russian accounts? What's with all these bot accounts? Seriously. I've never been hit with bot accounts before. What happened? Woo! Yeah, I might have to block those words in chat because they're just rushing to me. Ah, yes. Yes. I love puns so much. I didn't think I became popular. I mean, like, I have a little over 200 subs, but I'm like, I'm not that big of a channel. Oh, uh, uh, so interesting thing, Chris, about uh, both Slavics and squats. It is a genetic disposition to be able to do a Slavic squat. Like there are some people who actually cannot do it just because of genes, and no one had any idea until it's like pointed out to them because if you squat down, if you can do a Slavic squat, your feet are flat on the floor. But for a lot of people, it's really funny because a lot of people when they squat down, they can't they can't rest their feet flat. They have to they're on the ball of their foot. And I'm the same way. I cannot do a Slavic squat, which means I also can't do the Russian dance, which I'm sad about. I could fall over really quickly if I do that. Man, you can do a Slavic squat? Hell yeah. I'm always fascinated because I'm just always so used to being like, yeah, this is just how people squat. And like then you see people online being like, people not only squatting on the ball of their foot. Look how unstable this is, and but it's like, nah, you can't actually bend my foot that far to do Slavic squats. I can't remember if it's like a hip thing or an ankle thing that prevents you from doing it, but I know there's something that prevents some people from being able to do Slavic squats. Oh, the knee. Oh yeah, yeah. I can see that the knee thing just destroying some people. Although if you can do it, it looks cool and it's a thing to talk about at parties, right? Definitely, just assert your dominance by doing the leg swings, by doing the Russian dance. All right. Well, oh man. Well, it's been fun, y'all. But I think I'm gonna head out for tonight. Should have headed up like 20 minutes ago. But thank y'all for coming out. It's been a great time. I'm glad that everyone had a good time too. Nice. The most I could do is make an egg beater by crouching. Yeah, I know that feeling all too well. Oh, but yeah, thanks so much for joining back in. We're either going to have another stream either next week or the week after. I'm still deciding whether or not to do a weekly stream or every other weekly stream. Who knows? But thanks for joining. Maybe we'll get through this chapter eventually. You guys are way too good at your job, so I might have to bring in backup next time. Who knows? Anyway, have a good night, everyone, and I'll catch you later. Bye.